as we head through the morning.
News 12 now at 11. Your news starts now.
Good evening, I'm Amber Worthy. Thanks for joining us for News 12 now at 11. Two kids in McMinn County are facing vandalism charges tonight. The Inglewood Police Department says that they are investigating vandalism at a concession stand at the Inglewood Youth League football field. The damage was discovered yesterday, and according to the police department, there was a couple $1,000s worth of damage to that stand. Detectives with the Inglewood Police Department says that one juvenile suspect confessed to the crime, confessed that they broke in and damaged the stand when he was interviewed. The Inglewood Police Department is working to interview a second suspect. And the 10th annual 24-hour Main Street Block Party was held in Chattanooga today and is wrapping up right now. It is an all-day festival that is to celebrate Main Street and the surrounding south side of Chattanooga. It has been held every year in December for the last 10 years. Here's a look at some of the events. Habitat for Humanity held a family carnival today at one of their many restores in the area. There was face painting, cornhole, and so much more. Also, some fall treats. I spoke with Dominique Brandt, the development director for Habitat, about how an event like this furthers the mission of the organization.
That's what Habitat is all about, right? Habitat is about putting homeowners in new homes and revitalizing and rehabbing their existing homes. So we want the beauty and the revitalization of the South Side to move right up on east to East Main Street.
Brent says this area has changed a lot over the years, and the hope is to keep the rich history alive while also including more of the urban parts of the scenic city.
You know, we hear all the time how Chattanooga is the Renaissance city of the South, but that is only part of Chattanooga. This is a tale of two cities, and it's not a pretty tale because there's a half part of the city that is being left behind, and we're about making a difference with that city, with that part of the city.
And two artists did live portrait sketching for the festival for donations. It took about 15 to 20 minutes for each of those. This was held at the Arts Building at the corner of 11th and King Streets. Local artists also were able to showcase some of their other pieces while collectors enjoyed hot chocolate and snacks. There was a shuttle to get you from the different events. 4 local bands played a live music in the courtyard of the Wheelhouse. People were able to sample local beers as well for a donation, and a Venezuelan cuisine food truck was there as well. Local bikers will be riding in a toy run tomorrow in Catoosa County. They are meeting at the Big Lots on Lafayette Road in Fort Oglethorpe at 2 p.m. and they will leave about 2:30 headed to Ringgold High. Toys can be dropped off at the First Volunteer Bank in Ringgold or Fort Oglethorpe. Last year, they donated enough toys for 1,400 kids to have something for Christmas. And 10 TVA-sponsored robotics competitions were held today across the state. Kids from Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama competed. The biggest competition was held at Red Bank Middle. Organizers say the students prepared for 4 months, spending about 5 to 6 hours a week or more.
Well, selfishly, these are our future employees. So we want them to know more and more, but as jobs progress, the technology progresses, we've got to have more people that understand 3D design, 3D manufacturing, coding, and really still the mechanical engineering that goes behind all that stuff.
This is something it's not athletic, it's not artistic in the sense of creating a work of art, but they are creating amazing things, and they're so proud of it when they can share it with somebody else or another teammate or team member or even another team. So there's so much we can learn, and if we learn together and share what we learn, it makes things all the better.
More than 3,000 students competed in this competition, ranging from elementary school to middle schoolers. Now turning to a bit of national news, a nearly $1.5 trillion tax bill is headed to the conference committee, and President Trump says he hopes to have the final version on his desk before Christmas. President Trump spoke this morning about the bill. However, this victory comes amid new controversy surrounding a tweet about charges for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Laura Podesta has the latest.
President Trump could face new legal issues after tweeting about former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Flynn pleaded guilty Friday to lying to federal agents about his contact with the then Russian ambassador to the U.S. On Saturday, Mr. Trump wrote, "I had to fire General Flynn because he lied to the vice president and the FBI. He's pled guilty to those lies. There was nothing to hide." The tweet suggests he knew Flynn had been dishonest back in February when the president asked then FBI Director James Comey to shut down the investigation into Flynn. Flynn is now cooperating with special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian meddling during the election and possible collusion with the Trump campaign.
What has been shown is no collusion. No collusion.
Donald Trump has got to go!
Protesters gathered outside Cipriani's in New York, where the president traveled Saturday for a GOP fundraiser.
We know that Donald Trump historically just says what he wants to say and turns around and lies.
His speech did not focus on Flynn, but rather praised Republican senators for passing the tax reform bill, the name of which he said he didn't like.
I said we have to use the word tax cuts.
Supporters of the bill insist